Hey everyone, Todd at GTM Motorcycles. Today we're going to cover lowering a V7. It's a question we often get. So we'll show you one of our great new affordable shock options to lower your bike. And secondly, and equally as important, is to lower the front end with the back end. It's critical. Most people forget it. So we'll cover, we'll do a time lapse on some of the points of it. And then we'll touch base on a few of the things like setting sag. I know that's a black art to a lot of people. So we'll show you on how to do it with a basic tape measure. And we got a cool new tool made by Moto, slacker tool, that will cover, we'll show you how to use that. So off we go. So in part of lowering this V7 too, we have some new suspension that we're selling on our site. And the stock ones are around 15¼ inches. And the new one, which is the lowest and shortest we wanted to put on this bike, is about 14½. All right, so we have the new shocks installed, and it looks like our new seat height is around 30 inches. So that's a 1-inch drop from stock. And now for the most important part that most people don't tend to think of or do is onto the front forks to make the drop even. All right, so in order to check sag, which I know is a black art to a lot of people, basically all you need to do is raise the front of the bike up so that the forks and shocks are at full extension. So we're going to start with the forks. And this is the crude way to do it. Basically hook on the bottom of the forks or the axle. And you just want to pick a point on the top triples. I'm going to use this for example. And you know, it looks to be about 19¾ inches. And then when we drop the bike back down onto its weight, and then what you want to do is bounce on this thing a little bit, and then you'll get another measurement. So now we're at about 18�3/8. So we're gonna have David jump up on the bike and let him sit on it and settle it down. Perfect. And then you get your final number, and this is what you get your sag. So there we're about 18¼ roughly, around 18¼ So that'll be the first way to do it if you don't have our snazzy tool, but I want to show you how to do that next. All right. So I just wanted to talk about the snazzy little Moto tool we have on the site. So the cool part about it is you don't need a tape measure or calculating. This kind of does all the math for you. But what you'll do is just push and hold down once it's all connected. This is the remote. I think you can see the thing on there. I've just got the actual measuring device is kind of hooped on this so that it's kind of parallel in line with the fork. So we're going to push and hold the light button until it flashes, and David's going to pick up on it to zero it out. So that looks good. Now push on it and let it settle. The sag, just let it settle. So there's our static sag, 27. And now we'll have David sit on it completely. Yeah, and then bounce. So we're at about 41, and we're shooting for 43. On these set of forks, we really can't do much with it. And he's about 145 pounds. So that's a pretty good range for where this is supposed to be, considering we really can't make any adjustments. So from here we're going to go to the back shocks. We'll do the same thing. All right, so now we'll talk about rear sag on the rear shocks, and I'm going to demonstrate using it with the tape measure here. Basically all you want to do is just, again, hook on a part of the swing arm and then pick a point. I'm going to go to the base of this mount. I'm going to call that little under 12 3/4 under regular sag. So what you want to do is pick up, we'll unweight it, we'll measure that. We'll do it on camera next. And then once he's seated on it again, if you're doing it with the tape, you just do the same thing once he's seated. So I'm going to show you with this nice slacker tool. To get the unladen, push and hold until it zeros and let David pick up. So we go get unladen, and there you go. We'll bounce on it just to make sure it's settled. Good, so we're about 7 millimeters of static. So then we'll have David jump on it. And always just bounce on it a few times, make sure it's settled. So we're looking at about 23 millimeters of sag. Decrease the amount of spring preload it has. Now they have a fancy little tool that they give you in the box, but you'll see on these, you really can just do it by hand. So David's gonna start by spinning it probably let's start with 2 full rotations. And what you'll do is just index that, or keep an eye on, if you need to, where your starting point is, so that you get nice even rotations from side to side. So there's one side. I'll let him jump over and do the other. And then when we get that finished, he's going to hop back up there. The beauty of our slacker tool is that it's always going to keep the last setting that was on there. I don't know if you can see that on frame as he did that, but it just lowered itself 2 millimeters under static load all by itself just by backing it out. So we're going to try and verify that it's even side to side. All right, so we've got each side evened up now, and as you can see, we're about 13 millimeters of static. So we'll have David sit on it now, and we're shooting for laden. So we're up to about 30. All right, so we did one more adjust, and as you can see, we're at 38, so we're spot on. So I hope that answers some of your questions that you had, and I hope it was super beneficial to see. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe. Any questions, post them below. We also have a forum at GuzziTech.com, and all the products that you saw are available in our store at GTMotoCycles.com. We'll see you soon.